How's it going, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Airsoft Aftermath podcast with Jackal Tactical and the squad. Today, we're pretty much going to be talking about Airsoft origins. We're going to be going over how we all got into Airsoft. I'll start. I pretty much have two versions. I have like when I got into Airsoft as a kid and as an adult. I don't know if some of you guys have been playing like your whole life. I had that like window where I was like going to school and trying to get a full-time job in between, so I wasn't playing. But as a kid, a lot of people, I think, have the same cliche story of just playing with the plastic Walmart clear guns in the neighborhood with the green or red BBs. I was a green BB kid. I don't know about you guys.
Orange Crossman.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say if you had the white 2.0 or 2.5s, you were rocking the block, and I had those.
And you were rich too.
Yeah. But I started out as a kid just living on some basic street. There was another neighbor kid I became friends with, and I don't actually know how we figured out what airsoft guns were, other than probably just being at Walmart or Dick's or wherever.
Kmart.
And we saw them, we talked to our parents and, kind of convinced them to let us get them. And I was like, as long as you wear eye protection. So, we just...
Eye out, kid.
Exactly. So we just, went into... Luckily, we live right near a woods. And we went there. That was right at the end of our block. And we ended up gathering a few more kids. There was only ever one or two times where we had a group of kids from school show up, and it was maybe like a 10-on-10. And back then, for me, that was a huge game if you had that many kids from the neighborhood. And I had so many shitty-ass guns. I had the spring shotguns, the spring pistols. And then once you got like an AEG that had full auto, you were also like top tier.
Yeah.
And
Hopper.
yeah, I had a couple Hopper-fed ones. Hopper-fed Uzi, Hopper-fed M4.
I had a mini Steyr AUG that was
Okay.
fed.
Okay.
Yeah, Thompson with like the drum mag at the top here.
Yep.
Yeah.
I had an MP5 that was real good, and it had a normal mid-cap magazine. But back then, the only ways to load the magazines that I had were one BB at a time, or the big stick thing, where you load the BBs in the rod and then you push the stick in.
Oh my god.
So I remember we'd all have a
Jolly.
spot like in the woods kind of hidden, and I always had like the container open with the stick in it, and I'd run back and quick reload the only two magazines I had. So if you did full auto, boom, there was a whole mag. But then as an adult, I remember always reminiscing, thinking about playing Airsoft as a kid, and I knew it had evolved. And there was a guy that I work with, one of my good friends, and we just started talking about it. I'm sure we saw like some top tier YouTuber, like Navrich, Kicking Mustang, Jet Desert Fox, one of the OGs. I think their videos were just popping up, and then that kind of led us to conversation. And one day after work, we're like, hey, you want to go to Walmart and look at airsoft guns? And we're like, hell yeah. So we went, and I don't even know if Walmart stocks any of the normal ones anymore. But wherever we went, they didn't have anything, and we were like kind of let down, but it's a good thing because we wouldn't have wanted to buy those anyway. Then we started looking online, and because we were adults with full-time jobs, we had the money, and we both bought KWA GBBRs, which was kind of, I think, looking back, the worst thing you could do getting into airsoft was
It almost would
buy
make
that.
you quit playing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I almost did and the main thing were the magazines. They were like $40 a piece. That each of the magazines you loaded with gas, and we bought the propane adapters and used propane.
It smells so good.
Yeah, and we each went, we found ambush, or it was either that or another field or something that had an op, and we went and it was okay, but I know he played one game. I might have actually got rid of mine before we actually played and got my sniper rifle, and then the rest is history. I got into sniping, got into building the rifles, and I've just been sniping ever since, and it just evolved from there.
Well, Nate, real quick, when did you start playing as a kid? Like what year, and then when did you start playing as an adult?
Dude.
Or just age range.
Age.
I was probably between 12 and 16, maybe. And as an adult, I was probably 25 to 30.
Okay, so there's
Are you gonna say what you said in our chat when we were talking about this video?
Wakey.
No, that's not what you said. You said I have two stories to tell. Both of them I was a virgin.
Oh, yeah. Playing Airsoft as a kid and as an adult, I was a virgin.
Wait, how old are you now?
I'm in my
years
30s.
old.
I'm in my 30s.
I'm the oldest guy sitting here.
Yeah.
Because Greg's behind the camera.
Haha, fuckers.
Yeah.
But anyway, like I said, the rest is history. And now, still as an adult, I love playing. I still dump too much money. I got the sniper rifles, the night vision, all. It hopefully coming to not an end, but I slow down. I always say I want to get all of my kit and my rifles to a point where it's just maintenance and getting ready for the game.
But then you keep building new guns.
I know. I want to get it to the point where I have everything done and I can just pick what I want to use and no more upgrading. But
Just load it up for the game and
yeah,
don't worry about
someday.
anything else.
But
Just
what about you, Duct Tape? How'd you get into airsoft?
So, me being a loser, I was homeschooled.
Wow.
Wow.
So, we would have
I can tell.
we have a couple families that would get together. Yeah, nice. You're not falling out there, bud.
I wasn't homeschooled.
At least I have a girlfriend.
Shut
Oh,
wow.
Oh.
And we only know that's true because she's sitting over here.
How much is he?
Because we didn't believe him for like 6 months, so.
Show yourself so the world knows.
No.
Blink twice if you need help.
No, so when I was younger, we'd have a couple families to get together, and the one family, a bunch of like, I think it was 6 brothers. They all had airsoft guns. They're like, here, check this out. And I was like, already playing with Nerf guns
Okay.
and toy guns, the little dart suction cup guns, you know. So I already had like an idea, and they're like, this is the next level. You are welcome. So I played with them. I was like, oh, this is kind of fun, you know, shooting stop signs and dumb shit, you know. And then I went to Kmart actually, saw the guns there. I was like, oh, cool, this is really neat. And I ended up getting I got a spring shotgun. That's right. It's not a tri-shot shotgun. It's like it's a single shot with a magazine.
Did
in
you
it.
ever take the spring shotguns and you pump it a bunch of times?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Wow, look, it's like
It's like a shotgun, and then it goes like 10 feet
Yeah,
and then just
yeah.
falls off.
Those rails that would have the pump or whatever the handrail on it was so like flimsy, you break them all the
Oh
time.
yeah, mine has a nice flex to it.
Yeah.
I still have it. I still have that thing at home. Like you can pump it, and the barrel goes like this. It's fun. So they got that, and then I saw the world of like AEGs and everything. So I was like, oh, I got my first airsoft gun off Craigslist.
Oh shit.
Got a UK Arms AEG from some kid or whatever for, it was like $100 or whatever. I was like, this is cool. And then the internal gearbox destroyed itself because it's all plastic. Like plastic, I think it was plastic gears, plastic shell, plastic gun, and just like died.
Thanks, China.
And how old
Yeah.
were you at this time?
Probably 13,
Okay.
14. And then I went to Halloween when I was 13. I saw there's this place called Battlefield Airsoft in Aston. We're doing a zombie themed, thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So I went to that, and what you do is they had like little spring pistols. You like go around and
Those
find
are
mags.
classics.
Yeah, like the little. It would probably, what caliber would that be in real life? 25 ACP,
Dude,
probably?
yeah.
No.
Something like that.
Yeah.
But you would run around and you had to grab a mag, and you had like 3 BBs in it. And when there's zombies around, so you guys were running around, and you gotta shoot the zombie, to stay alive. And that kind of just helped me get into airsoft, playing in this indoor field. And then I was like, all right, well, this is really fun. So I did that, and then that AEG that I had shit the bed from just dicking around outside in the in the neighborhood. And then I went and got a G&G CM16, and that was my go-to for the longest time. And then I got doing all that, but then I got into high school, got my driver's license, and I was like, all right, well, I'm driving, I'm in high school, kind of like cars now, and then I was like, at that point, I was already planning to join the service. It's like, well, there's no point in playing military when I'm going into the military.
Yeah.
So I stopped playing because of cars in the military
Yeah.
in high school. But then after I graduated and everything, I was like, you know what? And then COVID hit. And then I was like, all right, I need to get out of this house and do something. I played Call of Duty all through COVID. So I was like, I got really irritated playing Call of Duty. So
So is everyone who plays Call of Duty.
yeah. And I was like, I needed to do something. I was building like a collection of airsoft guns in the meantime. I still like them. I was like, I'll do something with these eventually. And then so after all that, after COVID, I was like, you know what? I'm getting back into airsoft. I went up to Striker up. It used to be Striker, now it's Striker Force. Yeah, up in Hackettstown, New Jersey. And I made a bunch of friends and up there, being Greg and Josh Bushman and all of them. And then they're like, hey, well, we're going to Otherworld Milsim event. You want to come? And I was like, hey, I got a decent enough setup now. I built my own HPA gun, which I still have to this day. That's just like version 4 or 5 of that same airsoft gun that I put the HPA engine in myself. And here I am. I mean, the rest is history, really. It's just like, and the same thing for you is like, I wanted to get to that point where I had like all the cool guy gear. You know, I see all these milsim guys come to this indoor field and Aston that had, you know, the the ops core helmets. They all had the night vision, or said they had night vision because they went to all like the Black Sheep events, Lion Claw events. I was like, I wanted to get to that point, and now here I am.
How old are you, Duct Tape?
26, about to turn 27 next week.
I mean, the age thing I'm curious about, because, like, you know, the era, I think a lot of us started at different eras of airsoft, so it's like, it's cool to see the age.
Well, that's
with your story.
And that's the one thing in high school when I got my driver's license and everything. That was when Polar Stars first came out. So all the kids that had mommy daddy money were getting the Fusion engines, or like the Sistema PTWs and whatever, and they were just wiping the floor with all the kids that had standard AEGs like me. I didn't have a job. I had allowance, and so I didn't have that much money to get to their level to even compete with them. I was just getting completely fucked over and irritated at that point. So that's another reason why I stopped playing, because that before the HPAs got regulated and, you know, doled down a little bit for everything. But it's just now I have, again, adult money. Yeah, I could buy stupid shit like this. How about you, Frankie?
All right. So, back in like 2009, 2010, that my cousin, he decided to bring down a Tokyo Marui G18 down to South Jersey, and he let me shoot it a little bit, and I was basically hooked. And I was like, I want airsoft now instead of Nerf, because I was doing a lot of Nerf.
Is this as a kid or like
as a kid?
Okay.
Yeah, I was like 10 years old at the time.
Okay.
So I eventually started getting into it, getting the El Cheapo guns and everything, and they kept breaking. And then my cousin gave me a 416 AEG that was like $80. It was an LPEG.
That's fucking high end back then.
But that broke after messing around with it a little bit.
The bottom line of this story is, doesn't matter how much you spend on the airsoft gun, it will break.
It will break.
No matter what.
It'll break faster the cheaper it is.
And faster if it blazes.
That too. Fastest.
But eventually I found...
You don't even gotta touch it, just gotta buy it.
Give me the title.
I'll look at it.
But eventually I found a couple good springers, and then some of the kids in the neighborhood, they were starting to get into it a little bit. So we played around the woods a little bit, and I was like, I really like this. In the meanwhile, I was playing a bunch of Battlefield 3, and I got into like a team on there, or a clan on there. And some of them played airsoft, and they were helping me build my first kit. So I didn't get like the UK Arms M4 or something like that. I got something that was decent. I got decent kit. I got that for my 8th grade graduation as like a present. And then I went to Ambush in July, and it was right when Polar Star came out. I remember because Mike Saloom, he was like the first one to have a Polar Star. Yeah, I know Mike Saloom personally.
Oh my God, I know him too.
Oh my God.
And
Mike Saloom was on my team.
Yeah, he was on
Really?
Deathwatch.
Yeah.
His brother Anthony? Little brother Anthony? Oh, it might be a different Mike Saloom.
I don't know.
But I know Mike Saloom that used to play airsoft too, and he's in the Navy now.
He's in Hawaii, the Mike.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. He's just came back. Yeah, I know him and his brother. I do machine gun shoots with his brother.
Okay. Cool.
That's funny.
But-
Wow.
But
Mike was the little rich kid.
Yeah.
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 But I know that his videos, Level Cap, if you remember Level Cap,
God, yeah.
That's
Scott the Dougie, or
Oh yeah.
Yep.
That's perspective.
and early Jet Desert Fox. That's what really got me on the video side on playing airsoft.
Yeah.
I can only imagine Frankie's mom when he started playing airsoft, and you're going out and shooting. She had to have been having a heart attack.
Oh, she was.
With my little Francis is out there shooting BBs at everybody.
Oh, she was. And then my dad convinced her, just let him do it.
I can only imagine how it went.
No.
We need to get her.
Only imagine how it went.
Paul, we need to get his mom on the
Please
podcast.
I 100% agree. We need Fran.
How many likes for this video?
We need Franny here.
100 likes.
Just one like.
No.
One like here.
100
No.
likes,
It's
and
going to
we'll get
need
Frank's mom onto the podcast.
No.
It's already written.
100 likes or 100 subs.
By the way,
Digital.
Franny thinks the Jackal Tactical's in the ghetto, so I just want to throw that out there.
So
We
real
are,
quick
I
with
mean.
that, if you see a patch with a lady with a rocket launcher saying "Get out of the ghetto," that's where it comes from. That's my mother.
Yeah, we did
Yeah.
get rid of some of the patches.
I actually need to
Yeah.
I do too.
But anywho, back to my origins.
I'm sorry, Franny. I couldn't resist.
So I was playing Ambush a little bit. During the day, it was a night walk on. It was like one of their first night walk ons, and
So it was post Denny taking over.
yeah, it was post Denny taking over. So this was 2013.
Okay.
And I actually ran into what's his name? The Matt from Bad Influence way back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So Hoss.
Yep.
So I ran into him, talked to him a little bit, talked to Mike, and then like the third game in, that I wound up getting stung in the throat by a wasp twice. Got rushed to the ER because I had an allergic reaction to something.
Wow.
No, I had some weird ass allergic reaction to an ointment. But yeah,
It wasn't even the bee sting.
it wasn't even the bee sting, it was the ointment. But
Frank's the real life Carl Lindsay.
but anywho, that I was all checked out and everything. I came back for one Denny's ops. It was like Modern War.
Okay.
It was before you took over. Or
Okay.
took over a little bit. But yeah, that went there for one of those ops, and then I went every so often when I was in high school. And then when I got out of high school, I moved to Pennsylvania. I started regularly playing Airsoft a lot more.
You played through college too?
Yeah, I played through college when I was on break, except for one time I went to the Battlegrounds in Pittsburgh, which, not throwing any shade, but that place is a beginner field through and through. That they don't allow HPA, they don't allow.
Well, at least back then
Well-
they might now.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Wow.
Yeah, even like a high kappa with the HPA, that they won't allow that.
So
So
how old are you, Frankie?
I'm 26,
Okay.
just turned 26, and I've been playing for 12 years, and I've been playing straight, so I haven't
Yeah,
taken a
wow.
break like you two.
Yeah,
I've seen it all
yeah.
in the
I,
past.
So you were actually at the first Apocalypse game, right?
No, I wasn't. I was at the second
The
one.
second one.
I didn't go to the first one because I was too young.
Okay.
I will say, kind of back for me, I played paintball with my youth group at Ambush a couple times when I was younger, so that kind of helped get into the whole fieldscape of everything too. Was really fun about it, and I was like, paintball's cool. But I got the airsoft stuff, like, but airsoft's cooler.
Yeah.
I feel like I definitely started playing late to the game compared to you guys. Because you were saying like 13. I feel like I didn't actually start going to ambush and whatnot with my friends until like 18, 19. But yeah, I mean, Frank, if there's not much more to your story, Paul, do you?
Yeah, there's not a whole
Like,
lot.
how did you get into?
You've seen on YouTube
Yeah.
or the rest of my story after that.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we did talk about my story a couple times, but I don't mind telling it because it is. There's a I mean, my nephew Daniel, he lives in Florida now. He's the one that asked me to play airsoft, and I told him no. I was like, this is dumb. Like, I am not shooting BBs at people. I don't want people shooting BBs at me. This is stupid. And he kept telling me, like, let's do it, let's do it, let's do it. So finally we did. And I went to Dunham's. And I bought this $89, and I remember it was $89, piece of shit gun. And we played, illegally in Lebanon, wherever we could. We got the cops calling on us everywhere. We started out with like 6 people the first time we played, and we grew it to like 50 people. But I remember that first gun I bought from Dunham's, first time I used it, it just wouldn't shoot. I took it like a baseball bat and swung it and destroyed it into a million pieces on the tree. But it was funny, in the early days of airsoft, you're talking, that was probably about 15, 16 years ago now. The guns were different. Like, they didn't make all these like replicas that are like based off of real guns and stuff like that. But all it took playing was Shane Menser, was on my team, good friend of mine. He went to Walmart and bought their most expensive Crossman AK. Him doing that, he just was destroying everybody.
I know exactly what.
You're
And then my nephew bought an AK from like I think it was Airsplat back then,
Or shorty,
for like $150, and then them two's guns were just destroying everyone. So that literally lit the fire in everyone that started buying. My first what I would call an expensive gun. Now I remember my wife was gonna kill me when I told her I spent this money on this gun. We were a young married couple at the time, and I spent like $200 on a G&G with the electric blowback, and that thing ripped though. I remember its RPS was crazy, and yeah, we then Ambush announced they were doing Airsoft, and a couple of our guys. I did not go to the first time Ambush did Airsoft. I went to the second time, and it was a once a month thing, and it went from like 30 people the first time and grew substantially over like the next year. But I mean, that was pretty much it. Like, I became friends with Denny when Denny bought Ambush back. The store happened a couple years later. I started doing events a couple years after I met Denny. I mean, the rest is history. Like, if I would have pushed a little harder, I never even would have played Airsoft, and I wouldn't be doing these events, or I wouldn't be having the store or anything like that. So, I mean, I guess in all actuality, I can thank my nephew Daniel for being a pain in my ass and being persistent, because I am 43 years old, and I've been playing for like I don't play anymore, but I was playing about 16 years ago, and I've seen Airsoft evolve like probably none of you guys have seen it evolve. So
yeah, I know I made a lot of friends because of Airsoft, and I still know you guys now and everything. It's just funny seeing just
like I said,
increment of friendships.
All walks of life thing. I don't believe there's any other thing people can be involved in where you could be friends with all walks of life, that in the real world outside of Airsoft, you never would have been friends with these people ever in a million years. You know, like we are all completely different people sitting at the sofa right now.
But we're all virgins at heart.
We're all virgins at heart.
Fucking nerds.
We're all LARPers. It's okay.
You know, but it's true. That's one thing. That's why I think that's one of the reasons why, believe me, and Greg knows it too, and he's serious sick here. Over the years, I've thought about many times giving it up, and then I feel like I'm letting people down. But then that's one of the things that always comes back into my head. It's like, I feel like I helped create something that was for everybody. And it's like, I would hate that these people wouldn't have that anymore. I'm not saying they can't go somewhere else, or whatever. I have a lot of people say they'd quit playing if it wasn't for, Otherworld or Jackal. And it's like, I think that's one of the things for Airsoft, why I'm still here, is I like the fact that I'm sitting here with Nico and Blaze. We're like, we would have never met. You know what I mean? Yeah. Frankie, Josh, and none of these people, Greg, would never met any of you guys. And now you people are all like dear friends of mine and people I care a lot about. So, yeah. And then that's why I'm still here 16 years later, Yeah.
My friends, like my friends and I still consider them friends, like Mike Saloom, this other kid, Greg Fernandez. They're all local out my way. I met them by going to Battlefield and like me and the guy, Greg Fernandez, we would carpool going to Battlefield. We'd get playing together and go out
when
there.
You talk about like Mike Saloom, I used to have to have conversations with all these kids' parents, because I'd be taking them across the United States to play in Milsim events, and you're trying to explain to this Mike Saloom's mom and dad that you're taking their 16-year-old kid all the way to Grayling, Michigan to play a game. And I had to do that a lot. We had a lot of young people in the team that we had to do that with. I was like their father to take them everywhere, and it was actually rough too. It's like, man, I'm responsible for this kid now. I'm like, it wasn't that bad, but it did. It did feel that way at times, where you have these, thank God Frankie wasn't on my team, because his mom would have been calling me every 15 minutes.
Or should have been in the
Or she would have been with. So.
Well, on trips, I just put the phone on silent.
He does. He actually does. She doesn't even know he goes on Airsoft trips.
Oh, I just disappear.
So every time, for us, we have 2 16-year-olds on our team, and when we take them, we're just we promise we'll bring them back alive. It's okay. They'll come back breathing. It's okay.
Eric acts as the temporary father of the group.
I could see that. I could see that.
The father of the group.
So Nico, how'd you get into Airsoft? What's your story?
Well then, Nico's origin story starts at a private Christian school.
Oh my God.
Oh, what?
It does.
I thought homeschooling was bad.
Behind the stove, sit up. Oh man. Oh, Mr. Scope's too big in my ass. Since
I did not have that on my bingo card today.
This
What
is my
the
time to
fuck?
shine. Okay, back then. But yeah, so I used to go to a private Christian school called London Christian Academy. Pretty self-explanatory. It was a Baptist school, and I went there for about 4 years. we were really like sport oriented, so we did soccer, basketball, whatever. And every year we would go to one of the guys' houses. Name's Nate Double, and his family owned like a big farm. So we would go out there and we would go airsofting every so often. Eventually, we started doing it at the school property too, because we were right there at a tree lining for some woods. So we would just go out there and have our own skirmish.
Did the Christian Academy approve of this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Our pastor would literally sit there and like ref the thing.
We supply a Christian camp every year,
Oh,
airsoft
shit,
stuff.
Okay.
They bought all kinds of guns that we painted pink and they painted pink and blue.
Okay.
Ones a little more futuristic, but they would come in and we would service their guns, get them new batteries, get them more ammo, and that was fully approved by the church and stuff as well.
Okay,
Which
because
was
black guns are scary.
Yeah.
Black guns are scary. They're assault.
well,
weapons.
And they're the
I
CSI
think,
ones.
I think with the same with like Nico with the school, it's like they know these kids are going to do it anyway, but at least here it's kind of supervised and
Yeah.
right
and stuff like that, and like and it's not bad to know like some safety protocols when it comes to firearms.
Yeah, that's a
like
big
you.
that
We
should
kept getting
be a
the cops
thing.
called on us when we try to go. Like
Uh.
we got like approved to go to places,
And we did too, and we still get
Locals
the
would
cops
still
called.
get-
Yeah, all the
so
time.
this place was just out in the cut. We were able to like chill out. It's behind Stavers, you know.
Yeah.
So like not many people are back there, and
Yeah.
eventually, I remember this one time. It was like the third year I went to his place. It was his birthday, and his brother got into an ATV with his whole HPA setup, and he was just riding around, murking everyone. I'm sitting there hiding under a tree. I'm just like, I pray to God no one finds me, because if they do, I'm screwed. It was so bad. But after that, like after a couple of years, I stopped playing until I was like an adult, and I think it was during COVID too. Where a buddy of mine asked me for a ride to Ambush, and I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. Like, I'm not doing anything, might as well. So I gave him a ride down, and I instantly fell in love with it. I was just
when he asked you to give him a ride, you knew what ambush was though.
no, I had no idea.
Oh, so you got
I
there,
didn't
you're
know.
like,
I
this
didn't
is
know.
Airsoft?
I didn't know airsoft was like at the level it was over here on the East Coast. When you're watching videos of like
Yeah.
Level Cap and Jet Desert, they're all over there in the West Coast.
Mhm.
So I wasn't even aware that these fields existed. And we go down there, and I was using it was the whiskey. I think the Whiskey Falcon ASG. I forget what it is. Yeah. And yeah, the ASL. That thing was. I've probably used it for 2 years straight. I beat it up and it never broke.
Wow.
But like, eventually I sold it, got something new. There was a group of people we were trying to start another team with. It was like Lebanon's Liberty Society, Lebanon Liberty Team or something like that. I forget what it was. And that flopped like really, really quickly. After a while, I started just doing like walk-ons to Ambush for a while, and then I found Poco Loco, and then I started finding like Surrounding Fields, OXL, and then eventually I started going with like the same group of people. And I was like, you know, this is pretty
That's what
cool.
Moss was
Like, let me get a group of people and like we coordinate where we're going. And then we went to our first downfall, and I think that's where it like started like sputtering up. It was because like we're like, okay, so we get to go and do actual missions with the kits that we bought. This is really cool. Let's keep doing this.
Yep.
So now I'm doing a bunch of other stuff with Airsoft, and I don't regret any of it. It's super fun, and yeah, I still can't believe that Airsoft kind of evolved the way it was. I still have my very first Airsoft gun. It was a plastic see-through gun.
Wow.
That shit it still shoots too. It's perfect.
Yeah, I have a Springer that's
You put
it.
an 11-1 in it, and it still flies.
My G&G, I burnt out the old style contacts because I put a lipo in it.
Do you guys, the older guys, do you guys remember Lipo Ready? How big of a gimmick that was?
I mean,
No.
it's still a gimmick. I mean, people running
Voltage is voltage, man.
Yeah.
people running 11-1 lipos and guns that don't have MOSFETs, eventually they're gonna burn up. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
faster than they would if you weren't running that 11-1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was running a 9.6.
I was super happy that you brought up Dumbs, because I was like, none of these guys brought up Dumbs. I was like, that place had the best Airsoft selection out of
And they
any
still were
retail.
garbage. And they
they're
still were garbage.
They still had the best
They
ones out of
did.
anybody.
They
Like-
had like 10, 15 options where everyone else had like 2 guns on the
Oh,
wall.
that's what it was. I lived in Hamburg, right by Cabela's when Cabela's was built.
Yeah, they
That
did.
is
too.
oh my God, I forgot about Cabela's.
Yeah, they
My
had
dad even
amazing
worked there.
How- Nico, you're about 26 too, right?
I'm 26.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like most of you guys are around the same age.
We have 4 people here that are 26.
I'm like the
Hi, Dad.
yeah.
Yeah.
I feel really old now. Should have made Greg be in this video.
What about you, Blaze? How'd you get into airsoft?
Oh jeez.
Why you break it?
I actually started in elementary school.
Okay.
I had a bunch. I'd go to
Last year.
Newbie.
I go to sleepovers at my friend's house, and you do a manhunt in the neighborhood with a bunch of fake guns and
That's cool.
flashlights. And then by middle school, it evolved to everyone coming to my house because we had like this large abandoned industrial factory.
Oh,
behind our
shit.
house and woods. The only problem is it's next to a main road, so
Okay.
like the highway.
So the cops were called on you too, is what you're saying?
We got swatted one time.
Oh, we were
Oh
swatted
my
once.
god.
We were, dude. We were not to interrupt your story, but real quick, 'cause you mentioned the swatting. We were playing at a it's right off of 72 going south on the left hand side when it goes to 2 lanes. But anyway, there's a whole complex of houses there now. There was one house at that time, and it was all woods up on the side. Well, we played there for like 6 months and never had the cops called. I was like, great. And all of a sudden, this old lady calls the cops. It's like there's a bunch of people in military gear going up the mountain to rob the store at the top of the mountain, is what she called. Literally, we had everyone in the SWAT gear. We were legs spread apart, face first in the ground, kind of action. So
I remember when I first got called, man, I had a G36C that had like the mag looked like real bullets in it. And the cop comes up and he's looking down. He's like, so what's that? I was like, I swear to God, it's not real.
we actually did it. We actually did. I started getting to know these cops because they were calling on us so much. We actually went to probation the one time with the cops to like go over the difference of how real airsoft is to certain real, like we had the Glocks, like how much they looked alike and stuff like that. So like, yeah, go ahead, Blaze, but we had the cops calling on us quite often.
Yeah, fine here.
By middle school, everyone was coming down to our property, and by then we had switched out to completely just airsoft guns other than just fake guns that pretend to shoot. I had a spring EBR. My buddy had a spring. It kind of looked like a VSR 10 almost, but I don't think it
It was probably the UTG sniper. That was like
Or the
might
Will
have been,
MBO2.
Yeah.
And then
That's right.
we also had a couple guys that ran with spring pistols. I remember I had a little electric Glock that had this
yeah.
little curved mag.
Yeah, I had
One
I
at
had
a
dual
time.
electric Desert Eagles at one point.
But then, yeah, we actually had someone called the cops saying that there was a bunch of dudes in military gear walking around the woods and shit. And then next thing you know, we see a bunch of cop cars coming up the road, sirens flashing, everything.
You know, once you see the
Everybody-
second one, you're like, yeah, they're here for me.
Everyone just dropped, dude. We just all dropped.
Yeah, so at the end of the day, the cops really hate airsofters. It probably sounds like.
I didn't get
I
anything.
think mine like it. I think it's the bias standard.
We actually
that
do.
get called.
We actually do have a lot. I know at Jackal we have a lot of sheriff's office and police departments that either shop with us or buy from us for training purposes. So like, I think they're into it too. You know.
Yeah,
We
that
all
one,
just got ones.
the one down my way is still trying to get into airsoft stuff for their training too.
Yeah. It's smart. It's cheap.
Yeah.
And then I just stopped for a long time until about maybe almost
Last
4
year.
years ago. You know, my buddy MJ, who's also in LAS, was like bugging me to come go and do this with them. And I was like, I don't know, man. It's just going to be a bunch of little freaking kids. And my first time out there, I got my ass handed to me by like 40-year-old dudes, ex-military men, ex-police officers.
And probably little kids.
Yeah, and little kids. And I was like, I was hooked, dude. My first gun was, he took me out to East Coast in Maryland. And my first gun was an ASL,
Dude,
Mod
that
L,
sounds
which
almost
I,
reliable for-
yeah, dude. I had that up until this year. And I told everyone I'm not fucking with this thing because it has been unreliable. It has beamed everybody straight out of the box. And then I put a max hop up in it and it never worked.
Yep.
So I sold
It
it.
ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, the ASLs. It's crazy with them is, you know, people knock Falcon guns or whatever, and but when it comes to guns that were in for repair, it's the brand that's in the least, and that's crazy to think considering the fact it's the brand we've sold the most.
Dude, they're just like at the
Yeah.
right price point and they're super reliable.
$120 for like the most reliable AEG you can find. That's base level.
Well, they're about 200 now, but
that's
yeah.
what too.
Well, also that one story I constantly repeat that Jackal does the NRA Sportsman Show. And we have a shooting range, and the first year we did it, we had everything like the HPA, gas blowback, AEGs,
And the only guns that didn't break were the Falcon ASLs.
two Falcon ASLs, and a KWA Q10 or
The only ones that didn't break down that week.
yeah, 9 days.
But
Yeah.
yeah, I didn't. And then I was watching YouTubers do this, and like, I kind of want to do mine a little bit differently. I wanted mine more aimed towards humor and the off the field aspect. So that's what my channel is mostly about, is the humorous side of it.
Yeah, and anyone that has a channel, you know, make sure Greg gets it then, and we'll make sure he posts it up in the video.
So yeah, I mean that's basically everyone's origin story. Let us know in the comments your origin story, and hopefully we'll see you in the next podcast video.
And remember, it's not a true origin story unless you get arrested.
Oh wait,
Oh, in that case, no.
no, I didn't get arrested.
I didn't get arrested.
Well, then it's not
I
true.
didn't get arrested. I just felt very uncomfortable.
I got warned.
That's not
My
nice.
mom beat me severely.
I'm sorry. I think this one's perfect when they also. I think that would be